Hello, everyone. My name is Hongyang Zhao, and I'm an education intern at the 1882 Foundation this summer. And today I will be presenting on my project under the talk story, Youth to Youth Rewriting American History. Without further ado, let's get started. So my project is a series of lesson plans that focus on the reasons behind the Chinese exodus in the 19th century. And due to the limited time I had, I've only come up with 3 lesson plans so far, and I put them here in chronological order. And the first is the Treaty of Nanking of 1842, followed by the Taiping Rebellion from 1850 to 1864, and lastly, we have the Chinese educational mission from 1872 to 1881. And the Treaty of Nanking, it is the first unequal treaty signed by the Qing dynasty during the 19th century, and it was regarded as a major source of Chinese grievances and discontent at the time, which caused a lot of Chinese people to either rebel or leave the country. And it has, several provisions that privilege the British over the Chinese because the Chinese lost to the British in the First Opium War. And for this lesson, I want the students to take a closer look at these individual articles and see how they could impact the lives of ordinary Chinese citizens. And also we will be looking at textual sources on the reactions to the treaty, either in forms of violent confrontation or public condemnation. And we will also analyze a painting that depicts the signing of the Treaty of Nanking, to see how the Chinese and the British responded to it, and based on their facial expressions and the number of people in the cabinet, and so that's it for the Treaty of Nanking. And moving on, we have the Taiping Rebellion, which is regarded as one of the bloodiest and the greatest conflict during that time. And it was also recognized as a major driver behind the Chinese emigration from China because of the agony and wartime struggle. So first, we will be, doing sort of a comparison between the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom and the Qing Dynasty to see why the Taiping rebellions could gain popular support at the beginning, and we'll also be looking into the personal story of Hong Xiuquan, the leader of the rebellion, and his, in terms of his rise to power and religion, the Taiping version of Christianity. And we'll be looking at textual sources at the time, on, for example, the Taiping version of Bible and and its religious teachings. And we will, by looking at these documents, the students can see how this, Taiping values and religious teachings were impacting the lives of Hong Xiuquan's subjects within the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. And lastly, we will be, as a part of the overall discussion about Chinese immigration at the time, we'll be looking at the reasons why people were leaving the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, what were they doing in that country, kind of push people to leave. And we will be, taking an analytical look at the reasons behind. And then, last but not the least, we have the Chinese educational mission, which I will be spending most time talking about. So first, it's important for the teacher to provide sort of background information about this mission, and it all started with the self-strengthening movement that took place in the 1970s, where a group of reform-minded Chinese officials wanted to save China through Western technology and ideas. And to this end, they wanted the younger generation to go to the United States and to acquire this advanced and progressive beliefs, so that when they return to China, they could help the modernization and eventually the salvation of China. So it's important to know like why this officials sent the students to the United States in the first place, and then we will be focusing on the experience of these Chinese students in the United States. Either by looking at their autobiography, memoirs, and some other secondary sources, and we will be doing close readings with some of the excerpts to see like to get a nuance of their experience in the United States. And we'll also be looking at several photos that, for example, like a photo of the first Chinese students who were sent to the United States, right? Like we wanted to know like the background of these students, like their age, their gender, and their family background, and to see like to kind of draw parallels between what was happening back then and the students' own experiences. And of course, lastly, we'll be talking about some of the prominent students from this mission and their accomplishments and contributions to China. And yeah, so, and this is not it, because I just want to talk about like the founder of the Chinese educational mission, Yun Wing, who was dubbed as the father of Chinese international students because he was the first Chinese student to graduate from a U.S. college, namely Yale. And he had this educational vision on the salvation of China through Western ideas, and that's why he proposed to he kind of work with other officials who wanted to do the same thing to establish the Chinese educational mission, and he was the supervisor of it until its cancellation in the 1980s. And he was really a prominent figure in modern China because like he was part of like the most of the reforms and revolutions in China, including the revolution of 1911 when the Qing dynasty was officially ended by the Republic of China. So I thought like his personal story is something worth looking at, because he delineated his educational philosophy and the reasons behind the establishment of the Chinese educational mission and its eventual downfall. So yeah, he's definitely something that people should be looking into, and as even because like he's not like generally like a part of the standard curriculum. So why did I do lesson plans on these topics? So first, I would say like most of the current standards or curriculum focus on like the experiences of Chinese Americans after they have arrived in the United States, right? Like their accomplishments, their struggles, right? But not too many lessons talk about like why they came in the first place. So that's why I wanted to kind of delve into this understudied subject, like why did these Chinese people want to leave China, and what pushed them to leave their home? And it was a really rewarding experience for me as well, because I got to learn about the Chinese educational mission, which I knew nothing about before this project. And I thought it was really interesting because as a Chinese international student myself, I felt most of their experiences relatable to mine. Not all of it, because I'm not here to study for the salvation of my country, but still it's like this like their patriotic aspiration as well as their like determination to see a better China. Kind of, that's something I can resonate with. And so yeah, that's why I decided to kind of do this lesson plans on them, so that people can become more informed about their experiences and like the implications of their experiences on like the current situation. So that's about it. And if you want to if you have any questions or just want to stay in touch with me, you can reach me at the email address here. Thank you again for your attention and have a good day.